Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and welcome to another episode of The Grind. This is The Grind number 37. And I want to start off with this show about talking about a friend of mine. I actually met him and went over to his shop, and there's a surface grinder for sale, and I wanted to let everyone kind of know about it. And I'm just trying to help him out and sell this thing. He is in the West Los Angeles area. His name is John Marcus. Some of you remember that I toured his shop and did a video, probably over a year ago, touring his shop, and he also is the owner of PTC Instruments. So let's go take a look at the snapshots. And that's a 612 Boyer Schultz Challenger. It's a newer version. This is a one owner machine. If you're interested in it, he for the YouTube community, he's offering it for $1,500, which is a good price on a good machine that doesn't look like it's been used a whole lot, so the wear is going to be minimal. If you're interested, contact John Marcus. His email is jm@ptc1, the number one, not ONE, .com. So it's ptc1.com. Yeah, if you're interested, West Los Angeles, get with John and look at his grinder. Next up, around the shop here, we had some fab work over the last week. More shark cages, some mild changes to them. We'll go take a peek at those real quick. Well, we've got some subtle changes that we made to the shark cages that we typically make. I don't know if you guys even remember these handles used to be like a towel bar. We used to mount them on the side, bring them out, come over, and you know, they were hot formed and bent. Now it's just a 3/8 Schedule 40 pipe. So we actually took those away so that these carts can stack into each other. And he's decreased the overall dimension slightly on these carts by 2 inches. They have to stack into a specific location, I think a trailer. But there's 12 more of these things going out. I was waiting on the wheels. I had to get casters for these things, and they weren't. They were kind of snowed in back east, but the wheels finally came. I got a skid full of urethane casters in there that are going to get installed. Those are the wheels for all those carts. So those are next up. So more of the same, just some slight revisions in the handles and the towel bars and stuff. So those shark cages changed ever so slightly. And they always come in your favorite color, as long as your favorite color is Bar Z red oxide primer. All right. Next up, we got a bunch of ground to cover here on this episode, so I'm kind of blazing through it. Next up was some mail I got from Noga, and this is in support for the upcoming summer bash. So I just wanted to show you what came in, and this is the first little wave of stuff that's come in for the summer bash. So let's go take a peek at that. Okay, let's take a look at what Avi over at Noga sent over. He started off with, he's got a new products catalog for 2016. It's got some of his new stuff in it. And he's doing coolant arms. I'm going to tip that so you don't get so much glare. He's doing like a flex. It looks like the, kind of like the lock line, but it's a Noga arm, but it'll pass coolant through it. That's in the new catalog. He's got a fine mini set, which is a tiny little set of whirly-gig deburring tools. He's got the mini scrapers and stuff in it. So he's got a very small set in the new catalog. What else we got here? He's got some non-scratch. They've got a little ball tip on them, as you can see here, so you don't scratch the inside of your ID. So they've got that little nylon thing. And they've got some new profiles for some of their cutting tools. Let's see what else they got. Ceramics. You got the ceramic knives for doing plastic work. There's some of the plastic examples there. Those are ceramic cutting tools. I know those are getting real popular in the kitchen. My wife just got herself a set of ceramic knives for the kitchen. There's the multi-burr. I know you guys have seen those. That's the little folding 4-piece set. Very nice. Here's something new. They got a clamp and a quick connect setup here. They call it a 45 millimeter clamp. So same famous Noga arm, but with a new clamp and a new quick change. This is for the photo guys. That's a 1/4 thread. That'll go on the bottom of your camera. Fat and Fab. This is fine adjust bottom, fine adjust top. And then the larger arm, fine adjust at both ends, bottom and top. There's their modular system for work holding. With just kind of a can't twist style clamp with, it looks like those might have soft jaws for holding, for soldering and for things like that. That would be pretty handy. Sometimes you say it and you say, and with my third hand, I'm going to do this. So those are the new products for 2016. These are the catalogs that we all already know. It's the deburring system and the holding system. These will be available for distribution if you want to get your hands on these catalogs during the summer bash. I've got plenty of those. All right, that's enough for the catalog. Let's see what else he sent. Noga Flex. This is a Fat and Fab. Oop. It's got the fine adjust top here, fine adjust bottom here. So pretty cool. Some lucky viewer is gonna get a hold of that. Well, it's just like Christmas. You can never get stuff back in the box after you take it out, you check it out, maybe take it out, put batteries in it, then you can't get it back in the box to give it to your kid. I know it fits because it came out of there. All right, good enough. All right, Noga Flex. See what else we got. This is, they call this the Hold It arm. And this is for, they got lighting on there, but you could use it for cameras too. It's all wrapped up. This doesn't use the knob. It's got a lever on the side that can be repositioned. It's like one of those quick lock levers on the side. Same Noga arm. One lock releases all 3 axes. So pretty handy. And then this one's got, this is that quick change I was telling you about. Right there. Works just like a quick disconnect on your, for your air hose. And then quarter 20 thread there with a knob and a kind of a felt pad so you don't damage your camera. So that's their Hold It line, which is kind of for video and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Some lucky viewer is going to get that. And you can rest assured that all this stuff that you guys are going to get has been pre-fondled by me. I love playing with this stuff. All right, now there's another view with it's holding a display over the camera. I'll give you an idea on how you could use that for your photos. Okay, what else did he send? Here's some stuff out of the new 2016 catalog. This is the Fine mini set. And this is a tiny little guy. And it's got a very small countersink on the end and just a little whirligig. And I don't know what this is. Oh, this is a tri-knife. That's a triangular shaped knife for scraping. Very small for getting into some tight spots. Pretty neat. And what's this one? Oh, this is that new blade design, the anti-scratch. That's one of the anti-scratches. It doesn't hook all the way around, but same little whirligig thing going there. Do these quick lock? Oh, they got a little pin right there. There's a little pin. I bet if you push that in, that you could change that tip. Okay, pretty cool. So that's their mini set. That's going out to a viewer. Door prizes. These are all the same. What is this? Oh, just their standard deburring tool. Nice little pocket clip on this one. Same whirly gig, and let's see. Oh yeah, blade change there. Yep. This quarter, little quick turn, lock on it. So we got those for door prizes. And I don't know how many's in there. 50. There's 50 of those. And let's see what else we got here. Multi-burr. You guys have all seen those before. Tom showed them. I think Brad Jacobs showed them. I believe James Kilroy showed them. So everyone knows what the multi-burr is, the folding kit. Whoops. And that's the back of it. Okay, so pretty cool. And these all look different here. Let's see what these are. This is a ceramic mini scraper. For plastic work, ceramic knife. It's not a tri-knife. It's got two edges. They're all 90-degree edges, but man, those edges are sharp. Okay. So I don't know how many ceramics I sent here. Let's see what this one is. This is the ceramic tool. Ceramic tool. This one's different. Okay. Another ceramic knife for plastic work. 90-degree corners, edges. Is not brought out to a perfect knife, but I mean to tell you, those two edges are still very, very sharp. So deburring Teflon, deburring Delrin, or things like that. Ceramic cut gray mini. Let's see what this one's all about. Oh, that's the same thing. Okay. Ceramic mini scraper. Same thing as the other one. So I got 2 and 2. Very cool. So some lucky viewers are going to get those for their plastic work. Here's a big old honker. This is a reversible countersink red. Oh, okay, we've seen these. This is the one where we can take this countersink. When I push this button, that takes the blade sideways. I go through a hole, release, and then I come back and I can deburr the backside of a blind hole. Pretty cool. What is this one? Reversible mini countersink. So this is another size. Ooh, there's a little fella. Look at the size of that thing. And same operation there. For going down in a blind hole and deburring the backside of a blind hole. Pretty cool. That little button just turns that thing sideways so you can get it in and out. Okay, let's get those back in the box. Wow, the stuff just keeps coming. This is great. Look at this big guy here. I think those will probably go as a set. Some lucky viewer will get the big one and the little one both as a set. I hate to break up that set. So those are all, that's mostly stuff out of their 2016 catalog, their new catalog. Box some of this. All right. Next up is they call it a platinum box. This is a deburring kit. And as long as it's not all taped up, I'll go ahead and take a peek at that. So there it is, platinum box. And we'll open this for the first time and get a good look at it. All your shanks, 2 handles. Ooh, those are sharp. That's pretty neat for deburring an edge. Got a hand guard here So you can drag it right across an edge and don't take any chance of raping your knuckles. So that's pretty nice. So you got 2 discs on there, probably reversible. You can probably turn them over and get another cutting edge out of the other side. Got an Allen wrench in here. Let's see what they got here. That's a whirligig for an OD. See the cutting edge? That'll cut or deburr an OD. And there's a cutting edge for an ID. A little whirligig for that. Pretty cool. Let's see what these tips are all about. Doing a keyway. That V right there. Drop it in a keyway and drag it. These all fit in these handles. If I can get one out. Oh, that's a mini. There's a big one. Yeah, these just all quick change in there. So you can lock those in there. And this one would be just a simple drop and drag for a keyway. I'll keep that handle out. Tri-knife. Triangular shaped knife. Same thing, fits in this handle. Inside deburring tool. This is actually very clever. You can hook this in a hole. That little hole right there. It'll slip in a hole and then you can run around like this and deburr the inside of the hole. So pretty nice. Again, fits in this large handle. Then last up is a nice chamfering tool there for your ID work. So you've got all these that fit in this large handle. I don't know what these are all about. Well, these are all minis. These were going to fit this little fella here. Maybe? Nope. Maybe this one? There you go. All right, that fits in there. That's going to drop you into this big handle. Or I do believe that these will go straight into this little handle here. Yeah. So that's going to do an OD. I don't want to chamfer my finger. That thing is really sharp. So this holder is for these little fellas, and these are the adapters for out to this. And that's the little guy there. That's a little pocket clip, but that'll take these guys again. For the mini system. I'm trying to see what that little... Oh, they've got even smaller ones in here. Right down in there. But they've given you a nice selection of cutting tools there that fits in that smaller ID. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 very small ones. So that's the Platinum set. I don't own one of these, so it looks like a pretty darn nice set. And that's what this smallest one's going to be for too. Okay, so some lucky viewers getting the Noga Platinum set. Ooh, I gotta wipe my greasy hands off of that. Sorry, whoever wins that. Okay, let's see what's next. The Noga Platinum box. That's gonna be a nice prize. This is the SC 5100. These are going to be door prizes because he sent me 50 of those. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's a little pocket. It's a tri-knife. Whoa, those little rubber things really stick on there. Okay, you need to be careful popping those off. Another tri-knife, little triangular shaped knife. Not removable, just permanent in there, and just right for your pocket. If you're going to put it in your pocket, you better keep that rubber cap on there. You'll end up stabbing yourself with it. But we got 50 of those to give away. So little tri-knives, always handy to have for doing deburr work. All right, that's the end of the Noga stuff. But that's what Avi was kind enough to send over to support the summer bash, and these are all going to raffle and door prizes. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and thank you, Avi at Noga. and back. That was a wonderful selection of tools, and I'd like to thank Avi over at Noga for donating those to the Summer Bash for the raffle and for our distribution out to the viewers. Door prizes, raffle prizes, things like that. So thank you, Avi. Thank you, Noga. Next up is a mail call, and we're going to start off with two. One from James Green and the other one from Tom Lipton. And while I'm on the subject of James Green, some of you remember some comparator stands that I ground for him, and unfortunately they showed up to him in this condition here. So ouch, big old ding right in the corner. Those were soft gray iron, and they that one took a pretty good hit. So James, I'm sorry. I packed those in high density foam and had them taped with filament tape, and had them separated from each other and completely encased in that foam, and they still managed to take a hit. I don't know what kind of gorillas they got over there in New Mexico, but they are they're really killing poor James. He's had more than one incident with the USPS. Okay, so let's go look at James and Tom's mail. Hey guys, welcome to another mail call. First one up today is James Green. And I knew this one was coming. This is something I got from him over on the Buy Sell Trade channel on Facebook. And if any of you guys ever want to buy something from James Green, don't hesitate. He's always given me a fair shake, and he always, if there's ever any problem with what you bought from him, he'll make it right. So I never blink an eye when I buy stuff from James. I'm always going to get a good deal on a quality tool, and he'll stand behind it. If you're not happy with it for whatever reason, he'll fix you up. He's got it shrink-a-wrapped. Shrink-a-wrapped. I don't want to cut into it because it's in the original box. The box was not in great shape. I didn't really care. But our buddy Mr. Tom Lipton probably started a run on these things probably over on eBay and such. This thing looked pretty nice. I like the looks of it, so I went ahead and picked it up. Get all this duff out of here. Out of here. One is visible. Still got the label. And I didn't have one of these. It's a planer gauge. Oh, he's got Hoppy's towelettes in here, which is cool. Keep them from beating into each other. And he's got it oiled. And this is a really beautiful piece. There's your color case hardening on that one. He had a plain one, but this this is the one I wanted. Tom showed that pristine color case hardened planer gauge. This one's pretty nice. What a beautiful piece. And even the bubble's a little yellowed, but completely visible. And what a cool box even. It's got the old wax paper in it. No instructions or anything, but I'm going to just leave that stuff in there. It's got that wonderful vintage smell. There's another piece to the gauge there. So this piece can be used as an extension for this. You can use this for setting tool heights, making custom tool heights, things like that for points of reference. So this flat up here, if I rub this around on the plate with an indicator on it, it should be dead flat. And the other thing it can do too, if we unscrew from here, we can create a point of reference out in this direction too. We can create a horizontal point of reference where we can stand this thing up, Planer gauge is a useful little tool. It's almost like an adjustable parallel, but I didn't have one, and I've always wanted a pretty nice one, and this is a really nice one. Just love that finish on there. Tom calls it a cyanide finish, but I don't know what it is. It'd be interesting to read in an old machinery's handbook on how to do that. This once belonged to a gentleman by the name of R. Geffinger. Looks like on the side of the old dovetail box. Pretty cool. Thank you, James. I'm going to keep it wrapped up in these little Hoppies wipes. These are pretty cool. Keep them from beating into each other. And that's going to go in my drawer with my good stuff. I'll check that out later. And get ready to put it into service. Anything brand new I get in, I always measure it in all different directions and see whether it's trustworthy. Here's one that's unexpected. Tom Lipton, Ox Tool and Engineering. I'm not going to say thank you yet, because it still might blow up. How close is it to the 1st of April? It's not that close. So I don't think anything earth-shattering is going to happen here. Let's do this. Bubble wrap nicely. Ooh. You know how hard these are to get? McMaster car catalogs, you just can't request one. They only give them to their top paying customers, which I do not qualify. But let's see, this is number 121. Doesn't have a date on it, but it looks like a pretty fresh one. Thank you, Tom. I love having a real book. I mean, their website is good. As far as finding stuff, McMaster Car is probably the easiest thing to navigate. Let's see what else we got here. It's got stuff shrunk wrapped here too. Shrunk wrapped, bubble padded. Oh, look at that. Jack Powell. Those are all tapped holes. That's a pretty cool piece. It's ground on exterior here. Looks to be flame cut interior, so I think it's an outside angle square. Jack Powell, if you made this yourself, you did a wonderful job. Tapped holes, 1032. These other holes are, oh, they look about maybe 5/8 or so. Nice looking piece. I don't know where Tom finds stuff like that. That's awesome. He's certainly not going to tell anyone where he's finding this stuff. There's a little red pouch. Kind of strange little measuring tools or something. Oh, hole gauges. Yeah, I was talking to Tom about small hole gauges. Last time I visited him, these are 0.125 to 0.500, which is a ½ inch. It's just kind of a ball gauge. You put it in a hole. Here, let me get you in the camera there. And when you turn the spindle down here, it kind of expands that that ball out into the hole, and you can get a good measurement on the hole. They've got a much better feel, and you get better averaging on your hole. And than telescoping gauges, and these work for little tiny stuff. There's a little tiny guy there. Same principle too. So very good for measuring accurate tiny holes, and I have a small hole job coming up. So that's awesome. Thanks for that, Tom. What else is in here? Oh man, it's like, ooh, this is that self-adhesive bubble wrap. Oh my God. Oh. This is verification that I had no idea this was coming. I would have never bought that one from James had I known this was coming. What is this? It's another planer gauge, that's for sure. This is a Lufkin, number 900. And pretty much the same thing. It's still got the peg coming out here. I don't know whether this is 2-piece or 1-piece. This is just 1 piece. This has got a real nice feel to it too. Nicely made. And again, you can take this this rod, stand it up here or here. I'm not entirely sure what this little clip looking thing here is for. You could probably reverse that. You can probably take that screw out and use it as a ledge off of any of these surfaces to get a gauge height underneath something so you can come down and touch off to something. So pretty cool. Thank you, Tom. I now have 2 planer gauges. I woke up this morning, I didn't have any. Now I have 2. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, James. Okay, well, we're not done yet. There's one more thingy in here. Down to the bottom of the box. No note. Just showed up at random. I love it when Tom goes through his goodie box. Tom's got a good goodie box, too. Oh, look at this little fella. This is a tiny little Starrett number 56. When I say tiny, this thing is tiny. Look at that little fella there. Again with the color case hardening. Starrett number 56. Let me show you my smallest one and see if it's the same size. I've got another little tiny one. This one has no number on it, but they're about the same size as far as the bases go. This one's a little different size base. It was interesting, he was showing these on his channel, and I've got an attachment for this somewhere. See if I can dig it up. Oh, I don't see it. I've got the little piece that goes on the base of this one for doing V's. He was showing on his channel. It's kind of a piece that gets misplaced. It slides over the base and it's got a locking screw on the side, and it gives you a little V so you can bring it up on rounds and indicate rounds. But what a cool little gauge that is. And he knows I'm a collector of sorts. I just love that little stuff, especially the vintage stuff like this. And this is a mighty fine specimen you got here. Thank you very much for that, Tom. That's beautiful. Okay, so that's kind of funny. I ended up with two planer gauges. I woke up that morning with none, and now I go to bed with two. So that's awesome, and it's cool that I got two different ones. I got a Lufkin and I have a Steric. So awesome! Thank you, both of you guys. That was great. Next up, we got Keith Rucker incoming, and I think I blended that in with an eBay thing that I got. So let's go take a peek at that. Okay, and just out of the blue, I got a package from vintagemachinery.org, and this is our friend Keith, Mr. Keith Rucker. Look, he bubble wrapped his note. Look at that. Stan. Let's see what we got to say here. Oh, Stan, I've been wanting to send you something as a thank you for grinding my squares a while back. I came across some NOS grinding wheels a week or two ago and thought you might be able to use a few. I have no idea what these wheels are good for or if they're any good at all. I hope you can put them to work. Keep up the great channel and go ahead and put my name on the whiteboard to come to this year's Summer Bash. Signed, Keith Rucker. Oh, okay, that's excellent. We're going to put Mr. Keith Rucker up on the board. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to start a new column. All right. That's someone else to add to the list. Okay, Keith, look forward to seeing you this summer. And let's see what you sent over here. Oh, wow, nice and packaged. Grinding wheels. They look like my size. I can take either a 6 or a 7-inch wheel with an 1.25 hub. It's an 1.25 hub. This is a 7 by half by 1.25. This is a 46H. 46H, same thing. See that label's a little darker. So this one's been faded. It's got some staining. I don't know if that's dust or might be got wet. I don't think that hurts them at all. But blotters are in good condition and they're perfectly serviceable. All right, so that's a 7 by half. Same thing. Here's a smaller one. This is probably a 6 by half. My machine will still run a 6-inch wheel just fine. Bay State Abrasive. Never heard of that. This is a, I don't know how to read these part numbers. 46K, I'm guessing. That's an aluminum oxide wheel. The white kind of tells me that. 9A. Yeah, 46K. It's got to be a 46K. That looks like a 6-inch wheel. 1.25 hub, same thing. Okay. Yep. And there's another one down here. Looks like more of the first one. It's a 40. This is a 46H. 46H, same thing. Yep. Hey, call a medic. There's another one looks like got a little dusty or maybe got wet up to there or something, but don't think it affects it. Again, 46H in my size, a 7 by half. So those three are the same, and that one there. And I think that's it. Very nicely packaged. Good job. Okay, Keith, I sure thank you for that, and look forward to giving those a try, and look for them making their debut on an upcoming episode. All right, back to me. Hey guys, thought I'd share with you an eBay purchase, and I'm going to go ahead and lay this on you. This was a really good price. You know, those of you that don't know or have never heard of Crawford Collets, these are made in the United Kingdom, and there's a guy on eBay that has new old stock. And if you go to the Crawford website, they guarantee their collets. Their smaller collets are guaranteed within 0.2, and their larger collets are guaranteed within 6/10 total indicated run out. This is an R8 collet, and there's a guy on eBay that's got these things for $9 each. So smoking deal on a quality collet. This is a two-piece collet, and I'll show you what I mean by two-piece collet. Like I said, this is new old stock. These are still all wrapped up in the paper, and I saved the unwrapping here for you guys. But I already know that Crawfords are a two-piece collet, and you can tell two-piece is in the keyway down in here. You'll see two little crimps, and that's what retains the threaded insert, the threaded boss in here. I've never had one pull out, even with the Asian ones and the cheapies. I've never had one of these inserts get yanked out, so I never feel bad about having two-piece collets. But that's a Crawford 13/16. That's a PBA series R8. Very nice collets, and like I say, off the website, they guarantee some pretty tight tolerances on concentricity. And here they split it up and got me one of every size. What he does not have are any 3/4, which is pretty much a staple size for us. I ordered a 3/4 collet from England, and it's on its way. And I paid more for that one collet than I did for this whole set with the import fees and stuff. But if you look up on eBay, if you look up Crawford collets R8, the guy's well stocked. He's got a nice supply. Go check him out. No affiliation or anything. It was just a good price on a quality collet, and I already picked myself up a set. This is to complement my new spindle grind, and we're gonna check contact and concentricity, how the collet goes up into the spindle and the spindle taper, and we're gonna get some Prussian blue on there and check contact with tools in, and then we're gonna do some run out checks. So we'll probably use the standard sizes, but let's check these new collets against the old Asian imports. Let's go play with that and check that out. Okay, so those I got some fresh collets, and let's go play around over on the mill, check the fit and run out and the taper, and let's go play with these new collets and see what they're all about. Hey guys, welcome over to the mill, and what we're going to do today is check head-to-head on collets. And I've got my new Crawford collets here, never been installed. And then I've got my old Asian imports, and we're just going to put 3/8 head to head. And what I want to do first is just to make sure we've got a clean baseline. We're going to check our run out here. I haven't hardly used this mill since I ground the spindle that you saw me do last week. But just so we got a clean baseline, let me get this thing in neutral. And let's get an indicator on it. Now what I'm using here, this is the Noga. They call it a Fat and Fab. I'm going to tip you down a little bit. Now the Fat and Fab, fat means fine adjust top, and fab means fine adjust bottom. So this one actually has both, fine adjust. And I'm going to show you why it's so cool and why it's so desirable here. Let me get set up in this hole. Get my stylus the way I like it, and let me get over here inside of this. Oh, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. All right, so we can adjust out to with the fine adjust top here. But we're having a really hard time getting it on zero because every time I move it, see, I'm actually flexing this arm just with my, just with my finger. So every time I touch that knob, we're not really getting a true reading. So you just get it in in the ballpark there, and then come down here to your bottom adjust. And so you're not flexing that arm anymore, so I can get that right on 0. So the fine adjust bottom is great for little fussy stuff. Fine adjust top is going to get you in the ballpark. Fine adjust bottom for your final dial in. Can you see that gauge? Okay, we're on the taper, and I'm just going to give it a spin here, and we'll show you what our baseline is out here. My read is less than a tenth, which is about what we had. I read a total error of a tenth the other day after I ground it when the mill was sitting on its side. So that's our baseline that we have to work with. So if we see a 1/10 error, it could very well be coming from the spindle. So now we're going to go and move on to contact. We want to check contact in here, and I'm just going to take one of these rags and just do a quickie clean out. And then I've got a chem wipe, and in here I got a tad of acetone. I'm just going to dip a little acetone in there, make sure there's no oil in it. And you're probably saying, well, you know, what are you using for a reference? What are you going to use to gauge it? You're going to use your old crappy Collets or an unknown collet that you just got off of eBay? What are you going to use? This is what I'm going to use. This is an all-brick setup. This is a chuck I eBayed, and it was used, but the arbor is brand new. I just took it out of the sleeve. Been installed once, and I haven't checked the contact on it. So you and I are going to find this out together. So I'm going to clean this arbor up, make sure it is devoid of all grease and oil. And then we're just going to use some Prussian blue, Permatex Prussian blue, available at any, almost any auto parts store. How about a real auto parts store? Let's put it that way. It's available at any real auto parts store. And this stuff is just like what they say about Brill cream. Little dab will do ya. Same goes for this stuff. And I'm just going to kind of dab it around. I'm trying to get an even coating here, which is difficult, but I'm spinning the spindle and wiping up and down and trying to get an even coating here. And we're going to get an idea of the contact that we're going to get off of I wanted to use a solid arbor, something that didn't collapse or have the cuts in it or anything like that. I wanted to use a solid arbor to get a good idea of our contact in there. So that's why I chose the all-bricked. I mean, I trust all-brick that thing is ground properly, and I'm going to use that as kind of a master to see how my fit up is. All right, so let me put the head back in gear here, and let's get this fitted. This is our clean all-bricked. And what we should see when we pull back out, we're going to see the gauge line. The gauge line where everything tapers off and doesn't meet anymore is going to get a dark blue line, and then we're going to see a light contact, hopefully over the full circumference of this taper. But you know what? Let's stick it in and find out on how precise we were with our grind. And I'm just going to seat it and tighten my drawbar, and then just turn around and loosen it right back up. Oh. All right, drawbar's tight. No reason why I can't just turn around and loosen it and get it out of there. So let's get her out of there. All right, I'm hoping you can see the blue, but you can definitely see the gauge line out here. Not much to point with. Right here, you're going to see the gauge line, and that dark blue line, that's where the taper turns into a radius. So that's where the actual end of the taper seats. And this other dark blue line here is where it falls off of the taper. So I'm contacting from here up to that dark blue line, so I'm getting a clean contact there. and I'll just spin it here in front of you. I'll watch through the viewfinder. I'll look at it through the viewfinder and see what you guys are seeing. I'm hoping you guys can see the coloration. So, you know what, I'm calling that good contact. I'm pretty happy with that. So we're pretty sure we've got we're happy with the grind. We checked the run out, it's less than 1/10. We checked our angle. Our angle's correct. And now it's time to check a couple collets. And what I've chosen is 3/8. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna do two things. Get this out of here. We're going to check contact on an Asian collet. Now this is a very old collet. This is my old Asian collet that I've used forever. We're going to check contact on it, but it's useless to check contact with these splits in it unless you've got a tool installed. So you need to put the proper size in the collet, tighten it up, then you can check contact. You know, these collets deform enough down these splits that it's probably always going to make the proper contact if you don't have the tool in there. And this thing's been polished and cleaned and Scotch-Brighted so many times, I'm sure it's probably making pretty darn good contact. But we're going to find out. So let's give this a little clean. And I guess we should reapply a little bit more bluing. Just a little bit. We've already got some up in there. Get our head in neutral. And let's give that a wipe in there. All right. And I want to insert this with the 3/8 in there. I don't want to insert it without it because it could collapse and give me possibly a false reading. So you want the collet to actually be coming down on something. So we're going to let it come down on that little 3/8, our little 3/8 end mill test subject. That's just an old end mill shank. I hit the key. Yeah, I thought I hit the key there. All right, let's get the drawbar tight. Get the head back in gear. And let's tighten her down. All right, well now while it's in here and we've got our piece in here and it's already seated, let's put it back in neutral and we'll go ahead and check the run out straight to the tool and see what kind of run out we're getting on that old collet. And I'm going to try to turn it towards you guys so you can see it again. Same drill. See that gauge? Yeah, you can see that gauge. You guys can see it better than I can. Okay, I'm going to use my fine adjust top and get me close. Oh wow, I got pretty close. See if it settles down in there. Let's find my low and we'll fine adjust down on the low. All right, there's my lowest low. Let's zero up there. I'm going to use my bottom adjust for that. I gotta kind of stick my head over here and make sure I'm zeroing up right. Camera's in my way. See what I do for you guys? All right, that's a pretty good zero. Let's spin it. Pretty jumpy. At a half thou. Well, that wasn't my low either. Look at that. Oh. All right, let's try that again. Still missing zero. There we go. All right, now my zero is my lowest. Looking at a total of 6/10 on that one. All right, so that's, let me write that down right here on the table. My TIR for import was 0.0006, which is still not terrible. You know, that's not a terrible run out for a tool. It's a heck of a lot better than I had before. But let's pull it out and check contact. I expect the contact to be very good because it's been polished with 600 grit sandpaper a few times. It's been polished with gray Scotch-Brite. You know, it's been thrown in the lathe to get cleaned up a few times. This collet's been used a lot over probably a 5 or 6 year period, so it's pretty well used. So I expect over the years it's been worn down and polished where it's actually a pretty good fit. So let's get this guy out of here and yank that sucker and see what it looks like inside. Back in gear. And release. Let's get that little guy out of there. And like I expected, you can see here. You can see your gauge line again. Right, that dark line right here. You can see the gauge line where that radius rolls away from the taper. And the contact is actually pretty good on this. I'm looking through the viewfinder and looking at it. Contact is not bad on that old Collet, but a bunch of run out. You know, it sure doesn't have the run out of a new Collet. So that's my old Asian one. Not terrible, but if you were doing a lot of little fine work, some fine millings or some fine drilling, you want it to run as straight as you can. Let's move on to our onto our Crawford. I'd call that a good contact on our on that import. Back in neutral. And another little dab will do ya. Let's get this coated in here again. All right. Boy, that stuff really is like a dye almost. Look at Blue Hands video. That's for you, Mike. All right, now let's get the a little bit of acetone on this. And get this devoid of all oil and contaminants. These are Kim White lint frees, by the way. So no lint was harmed in the making of this video. Alright, pretty happy that's nice and clean. Take our tool. Oh, this is a 1/4 inch. Let me get a 3/8. There we go. Would help if I had the right size, huh? All right, now we're gonna use a 3/8 Collet. Make this a real head-to-head. What a silly goose. Clean again. Okay. Now, tool in. Find our key and we're gonna just push it up once and hold it there and just tighten right into it. I don't want it banging back and forth and all that stuff. Alright, now we're in gear, now I can tighten up. And just for the heck of it, we'll check the indicator run out on this one before we pull it and check the pattern. Spindle's in neutral. Looks like we're going to get some run out of this one though too. See what we get here. Find the lowest of our lows. That's 0. I'm calling that 0 there. All right, I'm getting a 3/10 tick out of it. Right there is, oh crap. Yeah, that's it, Stan. Bump the indicator. Is that my lowest? Okay. Well, there's my lowest. Okay. There's my highest. 1, 2, 3. All right, so it's 3/10, so it's double the accuracy. So the TIR on the Crawford 0.0003. So yeah, we're 3/10 on the Crawford, 6/10 on the import, but the import is used, so we will give it that benefit of a doubt. So there's your run out on that guy. Still very happy with it, you know. So let's check contact on it. I don't expect the contact to be as good as you know, a very well used, very polished Collet, but we will pull it and see what it looks like. I'm expecting to see, and this is pretty much standard for all Collets, wherever you see this split, I'm expecting to see contact in this area, here, here, and here. And that's pretty standard for new Collets. I've seen that a lot, and you end up with gaps in between. If it's very excessive, and you know what you want to see is that bluing coming out and kind of overlapping like this, you know, in the solid areas. But if you see too many gaps and you suspect that you're way too high here, your Collet will actually damage your spindle if it gets installed and pulled out over and over and over. It'll wear your spindle triangular. Remember, these things are keyed, so they go in the same way every time. And tightening, loosening, tightening, loosening, tightening, loosening. A cheap Collet will end up damaging your spindle. Which, you know, we saw mine, it wasn't in the greatest of shape. And as far as measurable, it was a little triangular, you know, it was kind of lumpy and bumpy when we were spinning around in the beginning. So it did have a slight triangular shape to it, and I can attribute that to the Collets being installed and removed so many times. And, you know, bad Collets or whatever. But, all right, let's pull this. I'm going to stick the head back in gear, yank the Collet out, and see what kind of contact we got on it. Okay, so it's pretty much the way I described it, but I got bluing all the way up here, yuck. let's take a look at it before I go wiping stuff down. Dark blue line here, your gauge line again. That's got full contact all the way around there from this break all the way to here. And then past this break, we see it again. Now here, look, we got a void. And then we come up on the next break and we start making contact again. Around to here and another void. So three sides, or no, two of the three sides, I've got a void in between these slits in the collet. So pretty interesting. This is a brand new collet, never been installed in anything ever. And we already know our taper's correct because we checked it against that Albrecht. But that's your contact pattern for a brand new collet. Indicated run out was right there, 3/10. Crawford guarantees their collets within 4/10 on their website. So all their collets spec out at 4/10 indicated run out. But that's a pretty good test, and it kind of proves my theory about the way a spindle can wear out. All right, so that's your contact test and your total indicated run out test. I had a video clip. A lot of guys are asking me, well, now that you got your Albrecht all set up and your spindle straight, how true are you spinning little drills? I got a video clip. I actually recorded it. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so that thing runs pretty darn true. That Albrecht is a pretty impressive little chuck, and it's repeatable. It's if you pull your piece out or your drill out and put it back in, you get your readings are within a tenth of each other, so it repeats pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that chuck and that arbor setup. So finally, I have an arbor and a chuck setup where I can do small drilling precisely and not worry about drill bit wiggle and stuff like that. So, all right, let's get back to the rest of the show. Okay, so that was some pretty interesting results over on the mill with the collets. Next up, I've already touched briefly on the Bar Z Summer Bash 2016 upcoming. I'm gonna go. We're releasing the T-shirt campaign a little bit early. I know last year was an issue trying to get shirts in time. We're doing 2 campaigns this year. The campaign that is currently running has 12 days left to buy, and then the shirts are going to go to print. As soon as that's over, we're going to start the campaign over again, and we're going to run it all the way up till Summer Bash time. So there will be 2 campaigns, same shirts, identical both campaigns. This campaign is ending March 3rd, so there is 12 days left. Link below. This year we're offering 2 different shirts. We're offering a Hanes tagless, which is a pretty nice shirt, and then there's a premium, which is an American Apparel premium shirt. Both style of shirts are available in black, blue, and gray. Front logo looks like this. Rear logo looks like this. So our slogan this year is when the going gets tough, the tough go to the bar. I'd like to thank James Harrell at James Harrell Design for doing the artwork on both pieces for me. He's going to be doing some other artwork for the Bash too. He's always easy to work with. Get a hold of him if you need any graphic artwork done. Keywords over on Teespring are Summer Bash 2016. That'll land you right to the sale page. So that's released a little early, and all proceeds from that fund the Summer Bash. In addition to that, from now all the way up till the Summer Bash, all Anchor Lube sales are funding the Summer Bash. Anchor Lube available at barzindustrial.com on the products page. So all the money from those from the T-shirt campaign and from Anchor Lube or going into the summer bash to try to bankroll this thing. All right. Next up, let's go take a quick peek at a little gauge I picked up on eBay. Now, the reason I bought that is just because of the contrast. It's got that yellow face and the black numbers, and I thought it would be more photogenic and video a little bit better. So that is a little tense gauge, and you can see it over here. I got it on the comparator stand. You can probably see it right over in the corner of the camera there. So that brings me to another point. The reason I bought that was for the comparator stand, for the contrast, and we're going to inspect something here really quick. But you know what? Stan didn't grind it, and this leads me into another whole different story. I was donating some equipment over at a local city, kind of a city college or a city training center called the Maloof Residence. It's a state historic monument, and they have a wood shop over there. So I was donating some woodchuck stuff over there to the wood shop, and I was talking to the shop teacher, and I said, "Well, this is a cool place, and it's a very nice wood shop." And I said, "Too bad you don't have some kind of machine shop or something over here. It'd be fun to hang out around here." And he said, "Hey, I know a guy that's looking at another city college. He's looking for someone to come over and help out around the shop." So and it's 2 towns over. It's over in Claremont, and he sent me over there. I went over there and talked to the guy. He's a really cool old guy. I mean, it's all a manual shop. Mills, lathes, drill presses, broaching, milling, cutting, tapping, drilling, like that. And over in the corner, there was a surface grinder. And he says, "No one ever grinds anything here." He says, "I don't grind. The kids don't grind. Nobody grinds." And I said, "Well, I'm decent at it. I can show them the basics. I can show them how to get something parallel, square, and build a block, build some B blocks, whatever." And he said, "Sure. Can you come over 2 nights a week?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be fun." And I met I got to meet the kids that were in there. I call them kids. They're between 20 and 25. But I got to meet the kids in there. All very inquisitive, all very eager to learn, love making stuff with their hands, which is wonderful to see. And they got to see the next level of their machining. They machine something to a certain tolerance, and they can hold a tolerance, but then they see that next level where they're getting close to millions. They go from machining to the abrasive grinding, and they see the level of precision they can get, and they're just eating it up. They love it. So we got their machine over there all cleaned up. I'm donating my time 2 nights a week, and now I'm not going to call myself a teacher because I'm not really qualified to be a teacher, but I'm just helping out around the shop over there and having a good time doing it. So let's go take a look at a student's project. I brought it back with me. It's a piece of rusty junk that I picked up on eBay. It's an I-beam, but that's a student grind. So I buy stuff on eBay and take it over there and let them clean it up. The rustier the better. If it's dropped, dinged, bent, as long as it's not broken or cracked, I'm picking it up. Any little blocks or anything I can get my hands on for these guys for projects. So let's go measure that I-beam and see how he did. Okay, well let's take a look at the new gauge. That's got a kind of a yellow background, so it's got a little bit of glare on top. I'm kind of hoping where's that glare coming from? There. It's the window over there. Yeah, I'm just kind of holding my hand behind the camera there. That one little glare right in the crystal. Anyways, this is a hardened I-beam. And you can see some of the dings and stuff it had in it here that I didn't want them to grind all that away. But this is a nice little parallel I-beam, and I wanted them to learn how to make stuff parallel. And this is all untouched by me. This is all student, just with a little bit of guidance. And all I'm checking here is parallelism. I'm going to clean my plate here and put this guy down, rub it around. It's got weak. Let's get zeroed up on it. Okay, I'm happy there. It's a good zero. And we're going to check the grind side to side. Pretty good. We're going to slide it across about center. Check the grind side to side. It's good. On the way out here to the end, check the grind side to side. So they did a pretty good job on this. They learned the difference between rough grinding and finish grinding and letting parts cool down and normalize. And they learned the flip tricks and how not to work a teeter-totter in it or a bow or a saddle or a sway back or anything. So they've learned all these things. So this is a pretty nice parallel, and they're down into the millionths there. So they're doing good, and real happy with those results. This was my I-beam, so I don't know whether I'm going to give it to the guy that did it, or that was just an eBay hunk of junk. But I don't know whether I'm going to give it back to the guy that did this. His name was Luke, or whether I'm going to keep it. This is a really nice piece now. Almost, I would say it's measurement quality. All right. Thanks for watching. All right, so he did pretty good. Luke's a good kid and very inquisitive, and really took to the rough grinding and the finish grinding, and letting a part normalize and get and work out the parallelism. So they've learned parallelism, and they're starting to work on square a little bit now, how to get stuff square. Pretty cool, and I'm enjoying myself over there. This is going to run just for another couple of months. It's not a full-time thing. As if I didn't have enough to suck up my time. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the grind number 37, and we're going to catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.